I just have that habit of just biting off way more than I can chew. Pause.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem is
Yeah.
like full-time job, studying for LSAT, learning a language. Right now I'm trying to still work on a script for a short film.
It's your ADHD, man.
Huh?
It's your ADHD.
Oh, I know that's the problem. And then I'll hit like a point where I'm consistent for a few weeks of working on everything, and then I'll just like have no energy to do shit
Maybe
for
you
like a
should,
week or two, and that's like fuck.
maybe you should force yourself to like just choose one thing.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it'll help.
Nah. Well, here's my problem is then I'll get fucking fed up with that one thing, and then want to do something
Well,
else.
space it out. Like you don't have to, when you study, you don't have to study for hours. Do like 15 minutes a day maybe, or 30 minutes a day. And just do that for like a week or two.
You don't realize how much studying for the LSAT is.
I mean, do you want to like exhaust yourself?
Sure.
Like you don't have to exhaust yourself.
No, I don't want to, but you
Yeah.
kind of have to.
Why?
For LSAT?
I know, but like, why do you feel like you have to exhaust yourself to study?
Because I have to get a very high grade on it because my undergrad is shit.
When are you going to take the test?
Either August, September.
You don't have to rush it though. Like, you can like,
Let's just say they typically recommend you have, if you're going to do it 3 months, they typically recommend studying 5 to 6 hours a day
if you're going to do it in 3
for
months.
LSAT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you have to do it in 3 months?
Because I have to have it done for a certain point for getting applications in and then trying to get scholarships because,
No, I feel you. But like, you can like, you don't have to do it like right now. Like, you can still have time to like,
well, here's the other problem is when I get that mindset, I procrastinate.
I'm just saying, I feel like you think you as well. I feel like a lot of people do in this world, like especially in our society. You feel like you gotta like
We
rush.
live in
to,
society.
you gotta like rush to do things. I'm starting to learn like just like relax a little bit because I feel the same way sometimes. Like I'm trying to do 18 things at once because I feel like I need it now or need to do it now. But in reality, I can like chill out a little bit and like focus on one thing at a time.
What are your 18 things?
Like editing a podcast, trying to
Well, I'm the one editing the podcast now.
well, editing stuff in general. Like
Yeah.
I have to take pictures, I have to do music videos, I have to do the thumbnails for that. I'm trying to like study more with machine learning. I'm trying to like study more with my job, and my job is taking majority of my week anyway.
Same.
And I'm like, maybe I should just relax. Maybe I should just do one thing, focus on one thing mostly at a time, and it'll probably help me mentally, and it'll probably help me with like learning stuff or doing what I'm doing at the time.
Well, what's your one thing?
I think I want to like learn more machine learning. Obviously, I'm still gonna like do thumbnail edit stuff and like music video and stuff, but I'm not gonna put that as a priority in a sense. Like I'm gonna do like probably like one day out of the week where I do like thumbnails, and then every other day or every day I'm 15 minutes to 30 minutes like studying or whatever. Trying to like structure it better.
I feel you.
Yeah,
All I know is being an adult sucks.
kind of. I don't know.
It just feels like you get so many things going on, and it's like, okay, I want to do so many things, but realistically, you have certain responsibilities that you have to deal with first.
I agree. But
And,
I
yeah.
think in a sense we kind of make ourselves think that though. Like if we
Open my third eye. Come on.
if we step back from this what we're doing and just trying to like look from like a third person point of view, you don't necessarily need to do all these things or like feel pressured about stuff. I think we just kind of make ourselves feel like that. I don't know why.
Okay, tell me what to do.
Like I said, just make
What should I focus on, Jordan?
I feel like you're already structured in general. Like I feel like when you do things, you're structured in how you do things. Your problem is just you just try to do everything at the same time. Maybe just focus on one thing.
What should my one thing be?
Sounds like you're really interested in like in law and want to do the LSAT.
Well, that's just because that's the direction I want to go. But
Yeah.
I still need to do this for the podcast. We want to build this up for future. And also, it'd be great if we can make money on this, so then there's income coming in. Granted, we're far away from that, but
Yeah, and I feel like I can see like the conflict that you're having, of course. But like it's okay to relax a little bit. Like you don't have to like go 100% on everything. It's okay to like
But Gary Vee said to go hard.
hey, if it's all types of way to live. I'm just giving it one perspective. You don't have to do it, but maybe it'll help.
Because here's the thing, I still want to do this. So that requires editing, and we don't have either one of us don't have the finances to outsource this yet.
So another issue, and you've said this before, that you probably have, is you procrastinate. Maybe you feel like you don't have a lot to do because you also procrastinate. If you do like 5 minutes of editing a day or every other day, it won't feel as much.
Yawn.
Because that's what I did. Like I would wait till the last minute to try to edit 3 episodes. It's just gonna feel like a lot if I just take
You're doing it right now with thumbnails.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Or start posting in tomorrow.
Exactly. And now I'm gonna go home and I'm like, oh, I have so much to do. Yeah.
But then I also want to do a short film because I want to get that done, get something out there.
Yeah, but you don't want to.
And then I have a
really
feature I want to do.
You really like you're passionate about making film and stuff. You don't want to rush that.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Try to get some shit done before.
But it's gonna be burnout. Like you're just not gonna.
Because
Like
here's the thing:
anymore.
once I get to law school, that's gonna take up a majority of my time. Period. Because of how much studying is required for that shit.
I guess what I'm saying is.
So I want to try to get some things out of the way first.
I guess what I'm saying is. You can, if you want to do the film and stuff now, do it now, and then put law school. Wait for law school. If you want to do law school now, do law school now, and kind of wait on the short film.
I want both.
Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I can. It's called fucking diabetes.
Like name one person that did it like everything at once. I can't. They're usually focusing on one thing and be great at that, or maybe they're also good at other.
Well, I feel like
things.
it's a trick question because I don't want to think that hard right now.
Well, like think of all the greats that you like, in film. Music.
I don't know. Jordan was great at basketball and gambling.
That was good. That was good. Was he good at gambling though?
And golf,
I
apparently.
think that was the issue, right? He wasn't good at it.
Allegedly. I'm not going to put that in one sleeve. Ugh. I don't know. Shaq's got rap.
And does he? He is a good businessman. But he
Probably.
also waited until he got done with basketball, I feel like, to be.
Well, he was already kind of doing things during his career.
Yeah.
Whether that be like using who he was to do movies and other bullshit.
Yeah. But it's hard to focus on like two things that you're real passionate about at the same time. And I feel like,
That's the only way I can live, man.
I don't think so.
I get bored of one thing so quick.
I think I also, which is interesting, I was listening to this dude called Destiny. I think I told you about him before. But he was talking about just like ADHD, autism and stuff. And he was saying how he has like a theory. I don't know if he said a theory, but of how, and I think this is a real thing, about people maybe get diagnosed with ADHD, or they look on TikTok or Instagram and see like symptoms of people that have it and be like, oh, that's me. And you start to believe it. And then you tell yourself that you have it and all these symptoms, and it makes it worse. So like you saying that that's the only way you can live, or you can't do all that, you probably thinking that it's just making it worse to make you feel like that. I'm just saying, maybe you should stop thinking like that, and maybe you should like try to do other things, and you maybe see something different. I'm just saying.
This is why I call you Dr. Shill.
Why Dr. Shill? What am I shilling about?
Because you're Shill, but then you also like to be, play therapist.
I don't want to play therapist. I just feel like I'm a hippie at heart. Always been. So that's just how I think.
You're a hippie who sells out.
Do I sell out?
Because the hippies are anti-establishment. But you're always rooting for the establishment.
I guess I'm not a hippie. I guess I have hippie like hippie. What the fuck is
Hippie?
hippie?
To the hippie. Yeah, to the hippie hop.
I like hippie things, I guess. I don't know.
Smokes weed once. I guess I'm a hippie.
Gets hot. I'm a hippie, man. This universe, just like live.
Dude, we live in a society, man.
No, you want to honestly
The corporate machine, man.
You want to honestly know what helps me in ego death? Shrooms.
Did you finally get some?
Oh, allegedly I've had some for a minute. I did it like last year. But yeah, I know upload. Allegedly. This is all just like a fake thing I'm saying for like podcasts. So it's not real what happened. But yeah. If you ever want to do it, man, I'm telling you.
Allegedly.
I'm telling you. But I don't know if you like it, because you did tell me before how you like get sick and like nausea and stuff.
Fuck yeah.
So, and it's like the worst with that. Because I think you're eating like, it's just like poison or something. I don't know. not poison, but like it's not. It's like, but you get nausea.
Man,
and
it's
stuff.
herbal medicine, man.
You get nausea and stuff, and I know you wouldn't like that shit because I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I know ways.
That's one of the reasons I haven't done it is because
There's ways around it though.
what?
No, what the fuck? No, if you do it in like a tea form and soak it in lemon. What the fuck? No,
I'm thinking of other ways,
Yeah.
other applications that we can maybe do with this.
no,
I'm trying to start a lifestyle.
no, I don't want to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But if you do it in tea and soak it in lemon, yeah,
Someone sounds like an expert, allegedly.
microdose. Take a little bit in tea form every morning, just like a little bit, so you won't get like you won't trip or nothing. It hurt. It's
I thought the point was the trip.
no. I mean, if you want to trip, you know, ego death, you start to, like me, your third eye gets open. Like, why am I living this way? That's how you start feeling.
So is your ego alive or is it dead?
Ego's dead.
Oh, was it really? Tell me what it's like.
It's not dead yet. I'm killing it though.
So when people say ego death, what do you think it actually means?
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay, so
No,
you made it the fuck up.
no. Ego does a thing.
I know,
but,
but-
I'm assuming that it means you killing your ego. So like,
But describe ego.
Are
Are we talking like from a Freudian perspective or what?
yeah, no idea. What's a Freudian perspective? of
He's
ego?
kind of like the person who is credited with therapy.
I know who he is, but I don't know his theory of ego or what ego is.
I get him and Jung's thing confused.
Oh,
I think the Freudian perspective is you have the id, which is kind of like your lizard brain, like your biological instincts in a way. Then you have, I guess, the ego, which is kind of like the first one part of your brain that develops that has to do with like, we're pissing off every person who is in psychology
Yeah.
major. Granted, I took a bunch of psychology classes. You would think I'd remember this, but granted, I also didn't give a fuck about school.
yeah, I took like 2 psychology classes.
I'm trying to remember. Fuck. But
Um,
yeah, you think
I'm
of the
gonna-
ego, which I think is when I get it and the super ego confused sometimes, or most of the time.
to me, it's like
The super ego is like kind of what you start developing like around like middle school, high school, where you become so aware of everyone's perspective to where then you are kind of or force yourself to follow the group.
Oh, okay. So for me, ego death means you kind of kill like your old self. So things you think you need to care about, things you need to do, and a lot of things that you already are thinking about. For me, thinking about that you need to do better. I already think about these things, and like it gets me like anxiety, depression, all that. Killing your ego death is like you're starting to realize or feel like that you can actually start doing things that you always been wanting to do, or you want to change the way you are, like the bad things or whatever that you think you are. You want to become like your elite self.
Your elite self.
Yeah, like you want to be like the best person you can be. And I think a lot of people like go through things, you know, they develop like depression or anxiety and stuff, and it's hard for them to like kind of be like the best version of themselves. And I feel like that's what ego death is. It like helps you become your better version of yourself. So you become more confident and more like, it's not gonna, it can cure depression. Like shrooms is, they have research about like it helps with depression, it helps with anxiety and all that. And I see why. It helps. And I think maybe you should try it. I don't know. Just try it.
Drug test.
Yeah. But you gotta like do it with some lemon or something, because that shit gives you nausea. For real, and I hate that shit. It's the worst.
You throw up?
Nah, I don't throw up.
You don't throw up at all? You never throw up in your life?
Oh, I throw up.
Okay, but you're like, I don't throw up.
No, shrooms. I don't. It's just that feeling of like you
The
need
amount
it.
of times I've thrown up random places.
I know. I heard some stories. Heard some stories. That's why I'm like, I don't know if you like it, because I'm like, I know you. like you be throwing up from random stuff.
I still remember fucking throwing up, walking out of what's the place called? Rosu's?
Razzle, yeah.
We got like, me and a friend, like it was a group of us. It ended up me and one other dude splitting like the big fucking thing alcohol you can get.
Yeah.
It's like their punch thing. I drank like 3/4 of it.
You just had to go.
So then when we were leaving, like just before we were leaving, I was getting like these hot flashes. I'm like, oh God. Oh
Ooh.
God. So we're walking out the front and then all of a sudden I get the sensation of like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So then I just like dash ahead of everyone and just found a bush and it just fucking, it
Yeah.
was just all red because it was just that punch.
Yeah.
Strangely, I didn't throw up any food. That's when I kind of figured out I think I was allergic to alcohol
That's crazy.
because the food didn't come out. It was just
Yeah.
that. I was just looking like one of those dragons from Game of Thrones. Just boom, just a solid stream. Just right into this bush.
That's crazy. Imagine somebody randomly just saying that. You just throwing up red shit. Probably it's like blood or something.
You're like, he's a Targaryen.
Targaryen. Targaryen. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I want to hear your opinion on this, but I'm trying Spotify right now
Why?
because I live by the philosophy if it ain't broke, just blow it the fuck up because I'm bored.
Okay.
So I'm just like, let me try Spotify.
I like that. I like that for you. Not necessarily.
I'm not the biggest fan of it so far. There's parts of it I like and parts that I don't like, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like the way of listening is different on Spotify versus like Apple Music, which
Yeah.
is what I've been using.
And that's why I like it. But go ahead.
Because that style of listening, I'm not quite the biggest fan of because I like my brain like structure
Yeah.
to that type of stuff. So like whenever I listen to music, this would be interesting to see how you like to listen to music. But for me, I like to have my library. So then I always go to artists first. Then I'll go to whatever artist I want to listen to, click into them, click into whatever album, the song I want to listen to, or just the album I want to listen to, period. And then I'll play it from there.
Yeah.
And then if I want to listen to something else, I'll go to it.
Yeah.
Very like iPod style.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, that's how it was from the start because that's all I used. But then I got Spotify and I realized how much stuff I would download to my library that I would never listen to ever again. So I'm like, why do I listen to it this way? And I like listening to I like finding new music, and Spotify is great with that for me because that's kind of like the whole like how you listen on Spotify. It's like playlists or radios and stuff like that. You can save stuff to like your library, but
The library it pisses me off.
it's more like it's
The way
not
they just structure it just pisses me off.
because it's not like a library like Apple Music.
Yeah.
It's like a playlist library. Like you make playlists and that's how you structure it. And I just like that way more because I mean sometimes I know what artists I want to listen to, but then other times I'm just like I want to listen to the sound or this vibe, and like create a radio for that type of artist. I just love it. I just love it. That's how I listen to music. So that's why I like Spotify.
See, I like knowing what I want to find and look for it.
Yeah,
I don't really like how it's kind of,
but you can do that too on Spotify.
I just don't like how it structures itself though. So like with your library, it just like always brings up what you've most recently listened to. And then you can try to do the artist, but then it does it by whatever you've most listened to or whatever, or most recently
But
listened
you
to.
can just search it though. They have a search option.
Do you know how many artists that I have to keep track of in my head?
Oh, okay, that's why you save.
Because
it
you
to
think I
playlist.
also don't just listen to like American music. I listen to music in different languages. So then it's like, okay, now I got to remember this thing that I don't really.
That is true. That
where
is
it's
true.
like, oh fuck,
That is true.
like one of my favorite rock bands.
Yeah. I mean, if your favorite rock bands, I wouldn't know that the artist.
Well, here's also the more confusing thing is the way they write it, like in English.
Yeah.
It's a different, like stylized version of what's called Romaji, which is our alphabet, like a Latin alphabet.
Yeah.
They use a different version of it, so it's spelled wrong, differently than what it
Okay.
should be.
Yeah.
So like they spell it like Tosite Siguri, whereas actually it's pronounced like Rin Toste Sigure.
Mm,
So it's like wrong.
yeah.
So if I want to look it up, then it's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, I have that memorized, but it's just an example.
Yeah. I mean, but you get used to it. It's not like I can understand that because sometimes that happens to me. Like I'll listen to a new song that I like, and then I wouldn't save it or anything, and I'll forget it.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't you have to do that on Apple Music too? Don't you have to save it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
But then it's organized once you save it.
yeah, if I save it, it's usually in my liked, and I could just look at my liked.
But then once you start getting too many likes,
I mean,
because then the likes aren't that organized, I feel like either.
when you like something, it just
Because
goes to
this
your
is
like
just like a
playlist.
long playlist, right?
Yeah, it goes by your recent likes. So like, if you like something a while ago, it'd probably be at the bottom. But that's why you got to make a playlist, a vibe playlist. I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad you moving over to the Spotify game.
I'm not committed.
Yeah, I know. But you
Just
will be.
fucking trying things. I do like the fact that like I could have my music and like podcast in the same place.
Yep.
I do kind of like that.
Yeah. And I think once you start like, playing around with it more, you probably like how you learn or figure out new artists and music.
Here's one complaint I have that I had to fucking try to go through settings and do some EQs. It sounded different than Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple Music, I forget what they called it, but their quality's better.
Well, yeah, they have lossless.
Yeah.
Or at least they say they have lossless. They basically have higher quality codecs.
Yeah.
So like what I noticed is, first of all, in the settings for Spotify, it had, it used what's called normalization.
Yep.
Which then changes levels and shit, which I had to figure out how to turn that off. And then after that, instead of having like, so Apple Music and everything, the standard EQ is just flat.
Yeah.
To make it sound the same, so I took a song and I would play like 5 seconds and then I would have it on Apple Music at the mark I was going to stop at to keep going back and forth so I could EQ it. So I had to kind of EQ the higher end on Spotify a little bit to get it to match.
Mm.
I think that's just because the sample rate's lower.
Mm.
So that takes off high end usually first.
Yeah. So maybe it's like, is it sound better Apple Music, or maybe you're just used to listening to Apple Music?
Well, I think because it's a higher codec,
Probably sounds better.
it sounds better. Here's the thing is you barely notice,
Yeah.
but I could because I was just used to it.
Yeah.
And if you go next, like if you would play from one to the other, if you knew what to listen for, you could hear a difference.
Mm.
It wasn't a huge difference. I just bumped up the EQ and the high end,
Yeah.
and then it got to pretty much match.
Yeah. One
Because that's like, think about, you know how with a lot of, especially like early Drake, that underwater sound.
Yeah.
What most people do to do that sound, they use what's called a low pass filter, which cuts off the EQ above certain frequencies.
Yeah.
The way 40 did it is he actually would record something and then lower the sample rate
Mm.
to get that effect. That's how he did it. So basically, that's what's kind of happening right there.
Mm.
Is because it's a lower sample rate codec, it's going to have some high end missing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that Spotify has a feature where you can blend like songs.
Yeah.
I forgot what you call it, but if you turn it up, it's like 10. It goes up to 12 seconds, and the song that plays next, it kind of blends in with the song that played currently, like up to 12 seconds. So you can, it's like a transition for like
You disgusting
like how
monster.
DJs list. I love it because like imagine listening. I love it. Imagine listening to like a playlist. You're just like listening in the car, like just chilling, and then the next song comes and that transition
You don't
happens.
respect the artist.
Fire.
You don't respect the writers.
I mean, I do respect the artists and writers. You were saying artists going to be replaced, and I said I wasn't.
Yeah, you do. Because the corporations.
Because I'm saying artists.
Do you really
I
want to go
respect the
down
artists. That's why
I
said
respect the artists, but I know the corporations don't.
Well, I respect the artists.
It has nothing to do with what I think.
No, it
With how I feel about artists. It's what I
Okay.
say
That's
corporations
how you
feel about artists.
Okay.
This is how I feel about corporations, how they feel about artists.
Yeah. So you're saying artists won't.
But let's not go down a whole fucking 15-minute episode again of just us yelling at each other.
Well, AI.
I think that's the loudest we ever got to.
Really?
Yeah.
You're allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like we were
I can tell
talking-
it when editing, I could tell the difference from that argument, like when that discussion started, but since before it was kind of like we're like, ah, da, 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 and then it was just like, are you kidding me?
Hey, I will not replace.
Yes, it will. That's literally what happened.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And I was like, are we talking about something else? And you're like, no, we're here already.
We're already in hell. We're staying. Because I know it'll just keep coming back up if we don't keep going,
Yeah,
like it just did.
very true. Very true. I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about Spotify versus Apple Music.
Oh yeah, Spotify's elite.
They need higher codecs.
I guess.
You don't care about that shit.
I mean, I listen to it like on other places, and I don't really. It's not that big a deal. But I'm like, I respect your your opinion about it, because a lot of other people might feel like that.
My ears are elite ears here. My ears are just pretentious.
I mean, yeah, like engineers should probably feel the same way. I
Yeah,
guess.
most people that are like really that way, they'll use Tidal, because apparently Tidal, everything is like
Yeah.
lossless.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And Apple has it, but it'll tell you it's doing it, but it'll only really do it under certain circumstances. Because like you can't. It'll like if I'm was using Bluetooth headphones, it'll say that it's doing a lossless, but the current Bluetooth standard can't do that much data. So it's not really, it's lossless then being compressed through Bluetooth before going through Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So it's not true lossless, but even then you could still kind of hear a difference.
Yeah. Bring it up to Spotify, man. Let them know. I don't need lossless. But maybe they're like,
They're probably just like,
Yeah.
that's more money for us.
yeah.
That's more money for fucking, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Like, what is it called whenever you're, it's not transcoding, but you would still involve that. It's more bandwidth. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Okay. More bandwidth, yeah, because it's more data going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're technically the biggest, so they're probably
Yeah.
looking at like, oh, that's going to be a lot of money if we
Yeah.
add this feature for what most people don't really care about.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, YouTube now got rid of like, so you remember how it used to be if you're watching YouTube and if you wanted to change like the quality from like 480 to HD or whatever,
Yeah.
you'd go to your settings, quality, and then you choose your whatever your resolution is going to be.
Yeah.
Now to do that, they have so many steps because first it'll go through like a thing of like high quality, medium quality, like low quality. Like it doesn't give you an actual number.
Really?
And then, because they're trying to save money.
Mm.
Because most people, when they see it, like, oh, I'll go for the highest one.
Yeah.
And honestly, like on this side of the screen, you can barely tell the difference between 480 and 720.
Yeah.
Let alone like, why the fuck are some Android phones fucking 4K screens?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a 6-inch screen, bro.
Yeah.
Gonna have it like right here.
Yeah. Can't really tell. My TV it has the numbers, but I do know there's a different UI about it. Like you got to go to advanced now. Like usually it was just like quality and tech quality. Now it's like settings, quality, advanced, and then when you hit advanced, that's where you can change it.
Yeah. And even then, I think they still will like take it down.
Really? Mine's always the same.
Well, I'm saying like he'll tell you something, but I think when people have actually like gone under the hood,
Yeah.
it's not quite what they say.
Mm. But yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, smart about them. Like,
I mean, here's the thing: is most people can't really tell that difference.
and most people that be on YouTube are not trying to go to the highest quality possible you can get at.
Well, here's the other thing: is their compression is so bad
Yeah.
to where it's like you can look at 4K, it'll look fucking like HD
Yeah.
because it's just compressed the shit.
Yeah. So,
But that's that's why people usually put like their short films on Vimeo.
Yeah.
Because Vimeo has less compression.
Yep.
But then they also charge you out the ass now.
yeah. Which, hey, sometimes you got to do. It's expensive to get high quality, all this data and stuff.
I guess. But here's the thing, like, apparently what Vimeo started doing because they realized, I guess, like, they aren't making money through B2C. They had to start making money B2B.
Yeah.
So what they started doing is, because, most people, when they put their shit on something like Patreon, people would use Vimeo to host their videos.
Yeah.
Mostly because the thing, if you do it host it from YouTube, there's a way to like,
You can just click the link and it will take you to the YouTube video and you can share the YouTube video.
basically exactly.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
No, because I did it on my Patreon. Like, I saw a Patreon and literally you just click the YouTube video and it'll take you to the YouTube video. And like the Patreon people were like mad because people were just sharing the unlisted link.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I forget you actually use Patreon.
Yeah.
Like I don't really have anything I want to pay to watch on Patreon, honestly, right now.
I like supporting people.
Yeah,
And
I'm here for support, but I don't really,
there's some things that I like on Patreon. Well, really just one person I like pay for. But I'm not mad because it's only $3 a month. And I'm like, I like them. I support them. $3 a month. Not a big deal. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for supporting
Yeah,
creatives
I feel you.
directly instead of like, YouTube fucking pulling their bullshit they'll do with ad rev.
Yeah.
Table that for a second. But what was I going to say? So yeah, people use Vimeo for that reason because there's like to be able to share it, you have to insert a password, supposedly. And if most people aren't going to have that password, and most people aren't going to care enough to try to crack the password to share it.
Yeah.
Because it's just sharing a fucking link.
Yeah.
So it's more secure. Well, what was happening is a lot of people were hosting their shit on Vimeo and all of a sudden got like invoices for like tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're using all that the data.
All that bandwidth. So then they're getting charged out the ass for it. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm surprised Patreon, well, I can see why they wouldn't have their own hosting.
Oh, yeah, because then that would be more money they would have to spend.
Yeah.
Because they already give most of it to the creatives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
They would
what.
have to take a bigger piece if they were going to also do hosting.
Yeah, yeah. It's not. We're not there yet with trying to with like hosting or transferring large amounts of data yet. It's still super tough. Or not tough, but it still requires a lot of hardware to do that.
Oh yeah, like all this. That's like just the reason. One of the big reasons a lot of the streamers are not profitable
Yeah,
is one, they're overspending on content, and two, they have to have the fucking hardware for all that shit.
yeah,
They'd have to have the servers, all the fucking storage, but mostly those servers, like they'll have fucking crazy CPUs on there with like 128 cores, and then they're like interwoven 4 of them
yeah,
on one system. It's like,
Yeah.
goddamn, they'll spend like, here's the thing is that type of hardware, whew, expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Even for what you get from it.
yeah,
Because it's made for big ass companies. They charge those companies that make it, AMD, Intel, are gonna charge out the ass.
Yep.
And then here's the other thing people don't consider is just because you have a file over here on the server and someone wants to use it, well, guess what? You have to transcode it. And transcoding is a bitch.
yeah. It's just
Especially if you're using like 4K master files.
Yeah.
Because you usually for 4K, the way the codecs are now set up for like films is it's going to be a 4K resolution. It's going to be H.265, which is more intensive to decode, to encode and decode. And then also it involves HDR. So then you also have to have HDR tone mapping. So it's so like the reason I know this is like if you build a Plex server and you want to do it with 4K, you basically have to have like the most powerful CPU you can get.
Yeah.
Because it has to do all that. And that will just be able to get like a few streams. To get like 4 or 5 streams of
Yeah.
4K transcoded HD.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why when we were saying hosting like the files and I'll just edit from there. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. Cause it's so like it's not built for that. Like
Well, yeah, neither one of our internets on both sides. Like upload is shit, your download and upload
yeah,
is
and
shit.
like the files are so huge, like it's just not gonna be possible really.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
I just
gonna-
got like the fucking cheapest fucking
Yeah.
Plex thing I can get. I mean, cheapest Synology NAS I can
But
get.
yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough out here. It's tough out here for these streaming service.
No, fuck them.
Is it?
Huh?
Is it?
What?
Is it fuck them?
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I
I
want to.
Yeah, because I know the writer strike is happening. Not really. I don't know 100% like what's going on. I know they're not getting paid as much as they want or should. So
Oh yeah, it's like significantly lower from what I've seen.
okay,
So the old contracts, of course, only apply to television and theatrical.
yeah,
With the streaming services, they pull the same shit that kind of happens with most industries at some point, like within entertainment, where I've heard some people talk about is whenever you had the era of like MTV, like late MTV, where it was still doing music videos, and when YouTube started, there was this whole kind of like division of what rates were based on if it was going to get on MTV versus if it was going to be on the internet. So the ones that were going on the internet, the companies would be like, oh, it's just going on the internet. It's not going to be seen by that many people. We're going to give you a smaller budget because, it's not going to MTV.
yeah,
Well, then when MTV died, and that's where all the music videos where they're like, well, it goes on the internet. Here's what our rates have always been. So this is how much we're going to pay. And they never lifted it up.
okay,
So like, that's why when people talk about like music video industry, like you don't see people who specifically do music videos on a big scale continuously. Like you don't see Hype Williams anymore.
yeah,
You don't see anyone like that because you don't get consistent budgets like that to be able to do those music videos that pay you.
yeah,
Typically, if you want to have a nice music video, well, a lot of that stuff comes out of your share because typically the director is going to get 10% of the net budget.
yeah,
But if you want to add like, oh, we only have a $100,000 budget, which only we budgeted X amount for a Panasonic EVA1 or something. And you're like, well, I want to shoot this on Alexa. Well, they're going to be like, well, I'm not giving you more money. You'll just have to take it out of your part.
So what's happening with the strike?
So what's happening with the strike is a similar thing of whenever it went to streaming services, they're like, oh, this is like an unproven ground. So do us a favor and
Okay.
we'll look out for you on the other end. And of course, they never look out for you on the other
Yeah.
end. So
They pay them at a lower rate because of what has always been.
yeah, and also here's the other thing that people don't consider about like the film industry in general is the way things work now is a production company doesn't want to pay you until they get money from a studio. So like if you have an idea for a film, if you go to try to pitch it to a production company, they're going to say, great idea, bring us a spec script. So then you're going to spend months putting together a script to bring it back. They'll give you notes, and then you'll have to go redo it again. And here's the thing, you're not getting paid for any of this because they're not going to pay you because they don't have the money to pay you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to come out of pocket when they know if they have the script together and everything and they take it to a studio and the studio likes it, they will pay them for it. And then at that point, you'll get some money.
Yeah.
So most of your money as a writer comes on the back end. Well, streaming services, you get like no back end right now.
Yeah.
So like if you wrote a bunch of television episodes, whenever something would change with the TV show, whether it get like syndicated or it would change from one network to another, you would get like these big payouts, which you don't get that with streaming services. Because you have like there's a certain model for how much you get based on numbers.
Yeah.
For like your residuals and participations, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with TV as I am with film when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
But with streaming, apparently they get like cents.
Yeah.
Versus like with TV, if you've done a bunch of episodes of TV, you get like tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas with streaming services, for the same amount of work, you get like tens of dollars.
Man, pay these writers, please. These writers are one of the only reasons why a lot of these shows are good. Like Succession show is amazing. It's not because the cinematographers, which they do a great job, but these writers, man, are different, special. And it sucks that they don't get paid it. Like, it sucks. I see why they're doing the strike.
And here's the thing is the production companies, a lot that go, oh, we don't make that much money. Streaming's not even profitable. It's like Netflix now makes a profit. HBO just made the first profit.
Yeah.
It's like y'all are on the way.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is most of the budget goes to production cost. And here's the other thing is whenever they actually write them, a streaming service will have these writers come in for like cheap because they won't even greenlight something until they have a full spec for the season.
Yeah.
So they'll bring in like these small teams of like 2 or 3 writers. They'll get like a small money up front, have to write an entire season, and then they typically don't get paid much more after that.
Yeah.
Because they don't pay them a big up front because they're like, we don't know if we're going to even greenlight this.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. Whole industry needs a revamp. Is that funny?
Yeah.
You think that's funny? You think writers getting paid just funny?
No, it's the fact that you know how this shit works. There's
Yeah,
not going to
I
be no revamp.
I know. I mean, there was a writer's strike before, wasn't it?
Last one was 2007, 2008.
Yeah. And didn't that work? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, it made some differences, but there's a lot going on with this one where it comes into, I know one of the big sticking points, because apparently there's like a few big sticking points between the motion picture, I can't remember what it's called, but basically kind of like the production companies, the studios together with the PGA, which is Production Guild.
Yeah.
They kind of have like their front, whatever conglomerate thing, like how there's like the union or whatever for the other stuff. They have like their version of that. And like there's a few like a sticking points where like they didn't even negotiate back on. One of them had to do with like minimum staff for writing rooms, where at least had to be at least 6 writers per writing room. There was another one had to do with like how the residuals be paid, and then I can't remember what the other one was. I didn't prep for this part,
Yeah. It's all right.
so I can't really tell you on that one.
I know one thing that got denied from the Writers Guild was AI.
Yeah, they're trying to like have protections where AI machine learning programs cannot use their work
for training or
for
learning.
training purposes. And then I think there was like another thing about, I can't remember, about you can't use it for writing or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah. That shit got denied quick.
Oh yeah, well, because as I discussed in our couple episodes ago, what's gonna happen is when there's cheaper alternatives and you don't have to deal with people like creatives, how temperamental we can be. they're going to choose those options when they can,
Yeah.
once they get there.
And I say I respect the writers.
I say I respect them too, but it doesn't matter if you respect them. It matters if these
No,
corporations
I'm
do.
saying how I think about them.
I respect the fuck out of them.
So I'm saying they can try to do that. I don't think it's going to work out because of how much I respect the writers. That's
it's
my
not about how
opinion.
much you don't run Hollywood.
No, but I'm saying we don't have to go around that back here. But I'm saying I'm sure the studios are going to try to do this. I'm 100% with you there. But
All
I'm
it
saying,
takes is one studio to do it and be successful, like make.
but yes, that's
successful.
what I'm
That's what it
saying. Like
takes.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it's going to be like just whole. It's going to be replaced. I think it might work. It might happen. It might be successful, but it's not going to replace actual writers because of how much I respect artists.
Well, here's the other thing that could happen, because here we
Yeah.
go back to this argument,
I know we don't have
is
to.
even if Hollywood does it, some third party who's not affiliated with Hollywood could start making shit using AI
Yeah,
because they're not restricted by union agreements. And then if they start making profit and it keeps becoming more and more profitable, then Hollywood to compete will then start. It's kind of like the whole
Yeah.
thing of like, if they have nukes, well, guess what? We need nukes too.
so I'm not mad at using AI to help write. I think it can help writers a lot. Actually, I think writing is not necessarily the process, like not necessarily the technical aspect of writing, which is what makes it good. I think it's the creativity of the writer. So like getting an AI to write, I don't see the issue with that because at the end of the day, you still need a writer for it to be good. Like if you think
Right
of,
now.
like, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you think about like, why do you like think about your favorite song, favorite artist, favorite movie or whatever? Just think about why you like it. It's not because they hit every technical aspect of it. It's because of the experiences that creator or writer has been through to put this out and for you to either like relate to.
You're such an optimistic person.
I'm just either like to relate to it or you can just see like the creative spark. It's not because they hit every technical aspect, and I don't think it's hard to replicate that. I don't think AI will be able to replicate 100% all the time why you like things. I think there's going to be artists, like human artists and writers, that are going to keep replicating or not replicating, but keep being creative, and you're going to keep liking it. I don't think you're going to be replaced by AI. That was my whole argument last time.
And I keep going. You're so optimistic.
It's not optimism.
Here's the thing.
Optimism.
You're like, this is your view. You're like, we must join the machine. I sit here like, we must return
not
to
s-
monkey.
See, listen, I'm not saying join the machine. I'm not saying join the machine at all.
You're joining the machine. I'm saying we must return to monkey.
See that this is why I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying join the machine. I think the complete opposite. This is why I'm saying we're not going to be replaced. Because we're not going to be, the machine is not going to be us.
Oh,
The machine is going to be the machine. And it's going to come either way you like it. It's going to come.
pause.
Yeah, that is pause. It's going to come either way you like it. Oh my gosh. I mean, is
gonna
it
come.
pause? Is it pause? Because like AI is like,
Well, you said it's gonna come. So,
yeah, I mean, girls come.
do you see any women here? Good
But yeah,
lord.
we don't have to go down the AI talk again.
It's always happens at this point. Well, since we've already hit one of our talking points, we hit it every single episode. Tell us about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's Marvel.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
Lord.
love it.
Really?
I love it.
Really?
It's great.
Is it?
A+.
Out of the trilogy, what's best?
Oh, this is the best one. So, James Gunn, he brought. This is why I like it a lot, because he brought a lot of what he does or did in DC. The kind of like, it's not rated R, but it's like pushing that limit. So like with Suicide Squad, a lot of the stuff that I like about it, because it's kind of dark and has that
Yeah.
dark humor. He brings that here to Marvel.
I still love the fucking weasel drowns at the beginning.
Yeah, like stuff like that. He brings it to Marvel, but
Yeah.
he makes it palatable. So a lot of the reasons why I like the DC stuff is because of the dark humor, but a lot of the reasons why it could be or not as good is because he like tries to take it maybe too far, or not too far, but like, you know,
I love the Suicide Squad. That was great.
I do too. But like sometimes it's like has to be a limit to make it for me to make it good. And I think he does it perfectly. He blends it perfectly with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like he blends it perfectly. So like it's dark, It's hilarious. Like it's really funny. I was laughing out loud watching it.
In your blanket.
And it's dark, so it has like dark humor.
Anything kind of like where John Cena and Idris Elba's character just start like killing this entire village, like competing who can kill that many people.
Yeah,
most
no.
people. Did they have a moment like that?
No,
That
it's,
shit was funny too.
yeah, no, it's not. It's not dark like that. Dark. Which I thought was hilarious.
That was fucking funny.
But it's still really good, and it still blends it perfectly. The darkness and like the Marvel good, superhero movie. It
Yeah.
blends it perfectly.
Okay, spoiler alert. Who dies?
Nobody.
Oh,
And I don't want nobody to die. I don't want any of those characters to die. I love them all. So I'm glad they didn't die. But, I mean, are you going to watch it? I don't want to spoil that for you.
that's why I said spoiler alert for people who care.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you want me to spoil it for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So there's parts of it where you might think somebody dies. It gets real close to it, but they don't die, which I love. I don't want any of these characters to die. And there's parts you learn about Rocket's backstory,
Okay.
and that shit is dark, and that's why I loved it. Shit was dark, and it was good because it's like it's not cookie cutter shit.
It's like Marvel when Marvel actually gets mature.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because most of the time they kind of like stay in teenage mature. They don't go like adult mature.
yeah.
That's
But
kind of what I liked about the first Black Panther movie was like it actually had some maturity to it.
yeah, it was like that. It was a lot of killing. It's a lot of like animal cruelty stuff in there, and in the dark, it was just great. It was great, and you might tear up sometimes. Like that backstory, I'm telling you, is sad.
I could tell your voice kind of cracked a little bit there.
that backstory is sad. And it's super funny. It's hilarious, and it has one of the best fighting scenes that I've seen in a Marvel movie.
I mean, that's not saying a ton.
I mean, I guess. I mean, a lot of like Captain America stuff was great. The Avengers movies were great with fighting. I feel like there was a lot of good fighting scenes in Marvel. I mean, I feel like it was a lot, especially like Endgame and Infinity War. But this one was really good. Like the camera movement that James Gunn had was great. Like overall, it's a great movie, and I think a lot of people should go see it. It's a real fun time.
Did it say Phase 4?
Did it say Phase? Is this Phase 4?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's Phase 4.
You sure?
I have no idea actually. I think it's Phase 5 though. I think Phase 4 ended with Black Panther.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not sure, but I think so.
You're supposed to want to know all these things.
Yeah. Well, I don't know everything.
So you're not general into whatever AI.
General AI,
Yeah.
AGI.
Yeah, whatever that is. You're not going to keep talking while I try to look this up.
Yeah. But if it is Phase 4, yes, it's saved. No, it didn't say Phase 4.
Didn't save way on there.
I mean, was Phase 4 that bad?
I don't know.
I feel like people were just over like hating it. I thought it had some good points and stuff. And jeez, I thought it had some good stuff in Phase 4. I wasn't that mad at Phase 4. But it didn't save it if it's in Phase 4. But that shit is great.
You are correct.
Yeah, I am correct.
Wakanda Forever was the last one in Phase 4.
Yeah, I know my Marvel stuff. Mm-hmm.
You didn't.
So
know
if
it.
it's Phase 5, starting off Phase 5, no, it didn't because Ant-Man did, right?
Yeah, technically Ant-Man started.
Yeah. I mean, Ant-Man came off to a rough start, but this saved Phase 5.
I mean, is Phase 5 also hurt by, the other situation?
I don't think so.
Do you think they're going to recast him? He who should not be named?
I don't know. I think if it gets worse, 100%. Right now,
It doesn't help that New York's legal system is slow as fuck.
yeah. But I don't know. They haven't I don't think they shot anything else with him yet. But they are coming out with Loki, which is people want to see that. Like people love that, and he's all in that. So I don't know how that's gonna work. If they just release it, even though I don't think people would be that upset.
I mean, it's not the first time that Marvel has replaced the black character and just acted like nothing happened.
Yeah, and if they do replace him, I don't think it'll be that bad either.
Because what was it? Terrence Howard got replaced with Don Cheadle?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think people would notice it if once he gets replaced, if he gets replaced. But I don't think people would be that mad. I think the people get over it pretty quickly, even though he was great. Man, what if? Huh? No, I'm joking.
Oh, season 2.
But yeah, it's gonna be funny how they play it because Loki is coming out soon, I think, and they already shot everything for it.
And here's the other thing is because of the writer strike, they're gonna have to push so much shit back.
Yeah,
Where it's just like, okay, well, we have to rely on what we have,
yeah.
and we're gonna have to make this last.
Didn't Disney come out with something saying like they're forcing some workers to work,
What are you talking
even
about?
even though it's a writer strike? Or
So I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but if you are a DGA, you're required to, if you've already started production, even if you're in the WEGA,
yeah,
that if you have started production as a director, you cannot leave.
okay,
Yeah. Until even when DGA goes on strike, I think part of one of their past agreements, they have to finish production.
okay. I don't know if that was what I'm talking about. I just saw a headline, so it might be,
Nice.
but that still sucks.
It's interesting because apparently WGA is the union that fights the most with the studios, and then the DGA is always the first one to like settle,
Yeah,
and then
That's your
actors are usually somewhere in between.
yeah. That's interesting.
But I think it's also because a lot of I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of DGA members are also PGA members,
yeah, I can see that.
because especially once you get some notoriety as a director, you always end up kind of producing your shit anyways
Yeah.
as a producer.
How does this affect shows that don't have writer room, like just one writer, like Euphoria? Does he continue to write?
If he's WGA, which I assume he is, if he's doing as much as he is on HBO shit, then he's WGA. So
He can't.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And I saw somewhere like the UK, like stuff over there, they're not, unless they, I guess they're
Separate
WGA.
entities.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, WGA is actually two entities. It's WGA West, WGA East,
Okay.
but they kind of like come together and act as one.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, they're on strike, and
Well,
then
strike,
SAG,
pay them.
and then SAG is apparently planning to strike too. Supposedly, they haven't officially done it, but they plan to also get involved whenever because all the negotiations come up around the same time. WGA usually is the first one to come up. I think SAG is next, and then DGA.
I like it. Shake shit up.
That's the good thing about the unions, but then also the unions can be a pain in the ass if you're like on the smaller scale,
Why?
like as a smaller production company. Just because they kind of, especially the SAG, they fucking shake you down for money.
So I wonder, do they have like a fund for like a lot of these writers that don't have jobs now?
I don't know.
Interesting.
They probably do have some to an extent, but I don't know how much.
Yeah. I mean, they should, because don't you have to pay like a membership fee for
Yeah.
these unions?
Yeah, usually you have a yearly membership fee.
Yeah. Yeah. Pay these writers, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I don't know like all the specifics. That's something I need to try to figure out.
Yeah.
Is like the specifics of like, there's also different rates depending what level you are, what level of pay you're getting on a project. It's like level 0, level 1, level 2, that type of shit.
Yeah.
And then also those level payments deal with location of production. I think that's more has to do with like SAG or DGA than WGA does. But the biggest thing is the writers of TV are the ones that get fucked the most.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the streamers?
Well, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
It's a long form series.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
well, even like people who do TV writing, they don't really get paid very well either.
Yeah.
So, because realistically, is the people that actually get paid as writers are like showrunners,
What if these two
like
deals?
Shonda Rhimes or some people like that.
What if these companies are like, fuck these writers, I'm gonna use AI,
That's probably what's going to happen.
and like this, they don't pay these writers at all.
Here's the thing: is
Right.
executives think they know more than everyone else does.
Huh?
So here's the thing: is executives think they know more than everyone else does.
Yeah, that's true. They don't realize they don't.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic, man, and you're
Cynical as fuck.
cynical Sally.
I don't know if that worked.
I mean, it
Cynical Charlie.
Nah,
Cynical starts with the C.
I know, but like, who gives a fuck? Cynical Sally. It sounds like an S. Blame English. Don't blame me.
Casting spells, man. I hate when people say that shit.
What, blame English? Or you casting spells?
when people will be like, "Oh, English was made up. It's just like to cast spells.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
we spell things."
Language is just spells. You're making a spell when you speak.
It's like, shut the fuck up.
I know the person you're talking about too.
I've heard it so many places, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things where like when people compete to be like the most, ooh,
Yeah. Third eye.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not how languages actually develops, but whatever.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, whatever floats your fucking boat. You got anything else?
I don't. We hit all the topics. We did. We did a good job. Transition.
Well, I mean, I still have that one thing, but we're too far in.
Okay.
So we'll
I don't know.
hold that
I
one.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're a rant. I know what you're talking about. You got some stuff to get off your chest. You were
Well, I
tight.
don't know if I want to get off my chest now,
Yeah, I feel you.
but
I feel you. I feel
it's just
you.
one of those things.
Yeah.
I just hate when things get reported wrong.
Yeah.
When people talk about shit, it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it triggers you, huh?
Huh?
You triggers you. It's okay.
Don't say something that triggers me.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a
Mm.
trigger.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope.
Not to end on a sad note, but did you hear what happened yesterday?
What happened
At
yesterday?
the Allen outlet mall?
At what?
The Allen outlet mall in Frisco?
No.
Or Allen? I'm still Allen outlet mall in Allen. That mass shooting?
No.
Yeah. RP, rest in peace to the victims there. It's tough. Because it's crazy because I was out shopping yesterday. And I don't want to make this about me.
Of course, because that's what we do here. We either make shit up or make it about
Yeah.
ourselves.
But it hit because it's like, first, it's close to home because I live like 25 minutes from there. And second, I was out yesterday shopping and I'm like thinking about going to the malls. And that was one of the malls I was going to go to.
Rest in peace to all those people. I'm
Yeah.
sorry Jordan just made it about himself.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it about myself. But it was a sad, man. And something needs to change for real. That's how I was feeling yesterday.
And now you expect me to somehow just like transition to something.
No, you're
and
not
be less
trusting. Rest in
depressed.
peace. I guess I am ended on the bad note. A sad note, not a bad note. Good thing he died there. The shooter.
This is why I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah, the cop. It was a cop there that went and killed him. But yeah, rest in peace. Peace and love.
Well, I'm going to change the subject now because I'm depressed.
We need like a sound or something to like help transition from that.
What? Because you make it fucking depressed all of a sudden? Like we went from being kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, little jokey about some serious stuff, and you're like, well, I'm going to make this depressing as hell.
Yeah, I'll give you a warning.
Well, how about I give you another warning?
Okay, what's up?
So we don't have the headphones on. I'm not connected to Bluetooth, but I saw a clip for probably one of the worst lines of dialogue from a shitty movie ever.
What's the movie?
It is called Shark Attack 3.
Okay.
The line is like, I guess they're back on like on the dock or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I'm tired." And he's like, "Yeah, how about we just how about I go home and eat your pussy?"
Oh my gosh.
I was like, "What the
Do
fuck?"
we need to pay writers? No.
I think that was created by AI in the 80s.
I'm joking. That is crazy though.
It was written by Tron.
You're my chat GPT.
Oh my lord.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That is a bad
I would
line.
play it, but I don't feel like connecting all this shit right
Yeah,
now.
It's fine. That is a bad line.
Oh yeah,
I wonder what he was thinking. He's like, yeah, I got something.
and then
with
it
this.
cuts to like them making out or some shit. It's fucking hilarious.
I mean, honestly, a lot of those movies like that, like,
It's like one of those B movies. Like
yeah,
it was one of those like B movies where it's kind of like off of
yeah,
Jaws or whatever.
yeah,
Because they had Jaws and they made like shitty sequels to Jaws,
yeah,
and then they made like a B movie version of it. I guess called the Shark Attack movies.
yeah,
And this was for some reason they made a third one.
yeah. I mean, I've heard of Shark Attack. They're pretty popular, I think.
They're probably. I think there's one of those movies that you just make fun of.
Okay, but yeah, that is a
They're
crazy
kind of like the
line.
Cocaine Bear of that generation.
I saw Cocaine Bear.
You did?
Yeah, have you?
What you think? I haven't seen it yet.
It was cool.
Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
I enjoyed it. Wasn't like a terrible movie or anything. Very violent, but
Well,
it
duh.
has some funny parts. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's not like the best movie ever, but it's okay.
How did the movie make you feel about cocaine, and how did it make you feel about bears?
Terrified of bears.
Okay.
I've always been, honestly, but this is
Well, I mean, you should be.
yeah, it makes it worse. Cocaine. I mean, I feel the same way about cocaine.
Okay.
Uh, really no difference at all, really. But that bear was going crazy though. There was doing some killings for
So
real.
that bear being on cocaine didn't make you want to do cocaine?
No.
You sure?
100%. Complete opposite. Complete opposite. Makes me not want to be by cocaine ever.
Missing out. Just kidding.
I was Evan.
Just kidding. See, now that's how you end a fucking podcast. You don't go fucking depressed at the end. No, you got to change the topic
I'm
to something
sorry.
kind of funny, and then you got to talk about cocaine bear.
I'm sorry. Yeah, teach me a lesson, Evan. Jeez.
If you've
Pause.
learned a lesson on this podcast, please like and subscribe on everywhere you might be listening to. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I think we're on Google. I think we're also on Amazon now. I haven't really set all that up correctly, but fuck it. So peace out.